So much is lost to us. The betrayal of Makrash, the sacrifice of Lawada, the desperate flight of the Pelagos. It all seems just a distant myth to those of us who remain. Perhaps we should leave this past behind, but with every fallen piece of the higher realm, the past returns to us, for better or worse.
Hello everyone, this is Sunniva.
And this is Johannes.
And you're watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And we are not at home. We are at Spiel in Essen, and we are here with Awaken Realms. And with Christoph here, we're going to take a look at lands of Evershade. And we're just going to give the words over to you because you know something about this. We don't know anything. We're going to play it, you're going to see it. So let's go.
Yes, this is our latest prototype, which means you will be one of the first to play it. The game is an evolution of the game's big storytelling games we've designed previously, such as Tainted Grail, ISS Vanguard, but this time we're doing several things differently. One first thing is that we have a character creator where you get this fake player's handbook that introduces you to a very specific setting where the game takes place, and it also allows you to create your character browsing through the book, choosing from dozens of races, professions, paths, origins, personal secrets, because every character can have a dark secret in their past. And after you're set with your character, you embark on one of the adventures. The game comes with several adventures. And the demo we have prepared for you today is a chapter 2 of the introductory adventure. Okay. So since we are jumping straight into chapter 2, because it basically will offer us the best mix of various things that we want to show in a short demonstration, I will have to give you a story so far update, and then we will play the game. I will introduce the rules as they appear because there's not that many of them. So, in the first chapter of the story, your party of 2 was a party of 3. Your friend got murdered.
Oh no.
He's not with us sadly here. And could you please pass me this stack of these sheets? Yeah. So, the game plays on sheets that allow us to show all kinds of story beats that you would usually expect in a TTRPG game or CRPG game on the board. So the sheets have many different scales. Here, for example, you can see the first sheet of the story as you chase the murderer down the streets of a town called Nightbloom Crossing. But there are many, many other scales and many, many other sheets that do many and many different things. So, in the first chapter, after you followed the murderer from the town through the wilds of Evershade to the city of Whitewell.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. You can see the close-up of the city of Whitewell here. As you entered it here, it revealed a sheet with a close-up of the city. And once your party reached the city, there was a complication.
Oh no.
Yes, you have discovered the identity of the murderer, found out that he's a man called Valerius Oldenbach, who is one of the 7 ruling patricians of the city. And the complication is that only a patrician can charge another patrician with a crime. So, in order to bring him to justice, you need the support of at least one of the remaining 6. And out of those 6 noblemen and noblewomen, only one would even talk to you. A man called Desmond Kazat, who's looking for a group to do a very specific job for him. So once you've discovered this, you use this as an opportunity to get closer to him. And as our story begins at the start of the second chapter, you're about to enter the mansion of Desmond Kazat, hoping that in return for whatever favor he wants, he will help you bring the man you're looking for to justice. So let's put those sheets back. And now let's briefly explain the setup. So this is a story tracker that tracks your choices. It has space for 2 sheets. So sometimes, as you've already seen, the sheets are an overland map, sometimes a close-up of the city. Sometimes they are a single room or even the bottom of the chest where you are rummaging, trying to find some important clue. And as you can see from the number of models, some sheets also give you combat scenarios on a tactical grid. The cover sheet for the adventure tells you what to do to start each act and chapter. So chapters are the big story chunks, 3 to 4 hours. Acts are small, 1 to 2 hours. We will play most, if not all, of chapter 2, act 1. And it starts by going to number 90 in the storybook. So the storybook is similar to what we did in Tainted Grail, ISS Vanguard, but again with some important differences. One important difference is that this time, since this is an RPG game, Storybook has many more mechanics. So there are many rolls, checks, and things that you do in the Storybook, apart from reading the story. But this first section will introduce us to some story, and it will introduce us to basic keyword checks, choices, rolls, things like that. So let's start with number 90. Oh, and let me also mention that the game will come with an app where the story will be fully narrated in English, and it will have a text version, obviously, in all languages the game will release with. So we have recorded voiceovers. So I will be playing those voiceovers for the story parts as we go. Yeah. Right.
Let's go.
I think the speaker went to sleep, so I'll have to wake it.
Yes. It's Sunday at Spiel,
Witching
so
hour.
Whoops.
going.
A short period of dawn. Dangerous rays of sunlight slip between the horizon and Luada's shield, hanging above all Evershade. Even these reddish, scattered rays are enough to chase most people off the streets. Thus, you are able to reach your destination unnoticed. In front of you looms the mansion of one of the 7 ruling patricians of Whitewell, Desmond Kazad. You need his support to officially accuse another patrician, Valerius Oldenbach, of the crimes committed in Nightbloom Crossing. And Desmond needs someone from outside the city to handle a delicate matter. In your situation, it's an opportunity you can't pass over. 2 guards meet you by the gate and lead you inside, where a young chambermaid takes your cloaks. She looks worried and distant, but a quick glimpse at your equipment and the professional tools of your trade cheers her up for some reason. She shows you the way to the large terrace at the back of the house. From its height, beyond the sloping gardens and houses of white stone, you see the well the city took its name from. You shudder. The maid discreetly points to the long, low table behind which Lord Kazad sits, looking at you intently.
Okay, and the word
have Corvus's support.
the word of introduction about the setting itself. You heard something about the Shield of Luada, the rays of the sun. So, in just 2 sentences, all surviving graces of Evershade live under the Shield of Luada. This is a stone dome-like structure in the sky that protects them from direct sunlight, because after the event called the breaking of the sun is deadly. Its rays are corrosive. They eat away at the existence. So the Shield of Luada is in fact already pierced in many places, and whenever there's a hole in the shield, when the sun travels above the shield and when it's directly above the hole, it basically shines down, so you get those columns of light pouring into many areas of the game world, and one of them hit the center of the city. So the city for many 100 years now has a column of light that falls down each noon, and it slowly expands this chasm there, and the walls are bleached with sun, and that's why it's called Whitewell, basically. So
That's really cool.
and now you get your first choice.
Okay.
Yes. First, let's place sheet 5 in the left slot of the star tracker. It's already done. Place the party model, which is the stall banner, in Kazad's mansion space. It's one of the top ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, Since we have 2 sheets with different scales, sometimes your party is represented by the party model, and then, for example, in tactical combat or when your party splits, it's represented by your specific miniatures on the second sheet. And you get to choose. You can either proceed to the table immediately, or you can just keep studying the views of the city, hoping to spot something, though you hope this won't be an affront to the impatient man you are trying to impress.
What do you think?
I want to look at the view.
Let's do it.
Oh no.
Let's
It's
just
gonna be angry.
looking there like, we don't care about
He
it.
may be angry. On the other hand, you don't know. If you go to him too fast, maybe you will appear too desperate.
Oh,
So-
that's true.
Might also love it.
I'm too curious of the city
To look at the
pass-
view.
pass
Let's do it.
over it.
Okay, 1 or 2. Right. Since I do have another copy here, and I have to use it to play the voiceovers, I'll ask you to flip the book, okay?
Of course.
102. Let's play this. And see what happens.
100 feet down, on the northeastern side, you see what caused so much commotion in the city. A fresh collapse where a layer of clay and rock slid down, revealing a cross-section of the ancient corridors. The enormous depths. You raise your eyes to the shield of Luada far above the sky. There's a faintly visible red spot there, small as a pinhole. Yet the light coming through this hole each midday was all it took to fade out the center of the city and turn it into a giant chasm in just 600 years.
In just 600
You
years.
notice no more interesting details.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't find anything, just looking
There
at the hole.
is,
But I'll learn
there is a
more.
check here. This is the first keyword check of the game. So the keywords is basically how various characters impact stories in different ways.
Okay. Cool.
So as you create your characters, you accumulate your starting keywords here. Then some keywords appear on your items. And then sometimes you have action cards with keywords. This system works in a way where, for example, if in a story you need to light something on fire, you can have a fire keyword because you're a fire-breathing race. Or, for example, you can have a fire keyword because you bought a torch and it has a fire keyword. Or if you have a fireball spell, it also has a fire keyword. So that way keywords impact the story. And here, if anyone has a keyword Whitewell or Lore, those are major keywords that should be somewhere here.
I don't.
I have Whitewell.
You
do?
do. You know
Yeah.
the city.
I'm a Midland citizen.
That's very
We are in
useful.
luck.
Yeah, she knows her way around the city. Since you do have someone with Whitewell keyword, you go to 103 and let's play it.
Thank you.
Your gaze slides along the streets and plazas at the edge of the well. On the eastern side, you notice some workers building an extensible drawbridge. You know of only one possible reason. Come noon, someone will be forced on the bridge to become faded out of existence. A punishment worse than death and administered very rarely.
Yeah, you have learned there will be new lead. An execution will take place in the plaza around noon.
Okay.
So the plaza is here. You know that around noon there will be an execution there. And now you probably have no other choice but to finally go to the man, 106. And 106, go to 106, and 106 begins with another keyword check. If you have dwarg,
Yeah.
which
yes,
you do.
I do.
You have all the keywords.
Yes.
It's
How
just
is
you,
that
you're
possible?
doing it.
Yes. 107, let's play this.
You approach Desmod Kazat, one of the 7 ruling patricians of Whitewell. As you approach, you hear him saying to his servant, "A dwerg? I was not told there would be a dwerg. You know how I feel about them." However, once you get close, he tries to put up something resembling a smile.
Okay, so
He seems nice. We like him already.
you
We're gonna-
kept him waiting. You are a dwerg, so it starts off on a good foot.
Yeah, it seems like someone I would like to meet.
We're gonna be best friends.
It doesn't seem nice at all.
Okay, And this is how we come upon the first roll of the game. Rolls usually have multiple outcomes. The first one is very simple because it only has two. You either have one success and you go here, or you fail to achieve that and you go here. And how do you count success? What counts as a success? When you roll for intellect, it means you choose any party member. If you're as a party, if you're separately, you have to roll yourself.
Okay.
And they take a number of dice, d12s, equal to their attribute, which is 2 for you and 2 for you. You're equally intellectual. And then, since we try to involve everyone in the rolls, everyone who has any of the following keywords can support the roll with 1 die. And if you have one of the following keywords, you can add 1 die to yourself.
Okay.
So this means you will have to choose which one of you rolls, and the other one with any of the keywords will be able to support the roll with 1 die. And I will explain some special results on the dice once we get rolling.
Okay.
So it doesn't. So do you have any other keywords?
I have the white one.
You have the white
keyword,
one. She has
so I
white one.
can support you with.
We don't have noble, but would it be so if could she support herself? Like if she
Yes,
chose to-
she could roll 3, but there is a
Okay.
good reason to spread the rolls around as
Okay.
much as you can. So it
I
will
can
be
roll.
slightly
You're
better if you roll and she supports.
Because you had all the keywords, so I get to roll the dice.
And she will roll the die that she uses to
Okay.
support herself. I will mention in a moment why.
You want to roll it?
Yeah.
Let's roll 1, 2, boom.
Okay, the difficulty level for this test was 10, and
That-
you have no 10s, but you do have options. One of the most important options is this, a fate token. You spend it to reroll any number of dice you rolled.
Okay.
So we can reroll those, she can reroll those. And you earn fate tokens when you resolve the failure outcome of the roll. So
Okay.
whenever you fail or decide, okay, I'm not rerolling, I'm taking the failure here, you get a fate token for the future.
Okay.
But it's not the only way of earning the fate tokens. Rolls have two very special outcomes, 12s and 1s. 12 grants you counts as 2 successes from a single die. This roll only requires 1, but some have better outcomes on more successes, and some count successes to give you something. And this one gives you a fate token.
Okay.
So if you ones are well, they won't contribute much toward your roll, but at least they give you something, and 12s support your roll greatly. So it's up to you whether you want to try to use your intellect more and reroll, or just ignore
do
this,
it?
gain a fate token, and move on.
I think that it's nice if this person likes us.
Yes, you try to reroll. You are
Yes.
better odds or better
Yes,
chances.
let's pay this, and you can reroll both of
Come
your
on.
dice.
Yay!
Yes,
Did
and
it.
you managed it.
10.
You have 1 10, 1 success, go to 1 11. Let's see what happens. So now we're going to 1 11 since you passed the roll.
I did it.
Apart from a visible lack of sleep, you notice Desmod Kazad is not wearing any jewelry. The golden cup in front of him is turned upside down, a sign he abstains from alcohol. This is the way Utua's worshippers mourn. Strange. Surely the people of the city would talk about the death of someone in one of the ruling families.
Okay, so thanks to your intellect, you've gleaned that he seems to be in mourning, so he probably recently lost someone. And the game asks you to place a marker in the Kazat's mansion space on sheet 5. So, Kazat's mansion, this means you've learned something that you can use in this location. Major story choices are kept on the story trackers, but things that are resolved in the same interaction or very briefly on the same sheet are placed directly on the sheet, so that they just go away with the sheet. Go to 1112. So now that we know something, the interaction continues.
Kazad is a man of business. After brief introductions, he cuts to the nature of his task. After the well side collapsed, a cross-section of ancient corridors was exposed far down the well. He knows other patricians are already planning expeditions to go there. Kazad wants you to descend first, no later than this night, and bring any antiquities you can find to him. He already had the crane and enough rope ready. He just needed the right people, adventurous and in no way connected to any of the other 6 ruling families. He then asks, "What's your price?"
Yes, so naturally,
You will reveal the
since the city has a giant chasm of death, you're about to go into a giant chasm of death.
Of course.
Yes.
The only way to do it.
But he asks, what do you want in return for going into the giant chasm of death? And you have 3 choices. You can either tell him the entire through, which means you will reveal your entire story, that you're after his fellow patrician Valerius, do you want to accuse him of crime, and so on. Or you can tell him a part of the story, which means you will only tell him that it's about charging another patrician with a crime. You won't specify which one or with what. Or you can just try to refuse to tell him anything and make him promise you a favor once you do a favor for him.
What do you think?
We don't know how much he likes this other person, so either like tell him a little bit or nothing.
Okay, then I think we should do like a little bit.
Yes.
Then-
And this, let's start with you. This is a decision token that we can use to break the ties. So if you're not, the party after discussing cannot come to a single conclusion, the owner of this decision token can just use it to pick the decision and just pass it over.
Okay, so if I then, I'm using this to make my opinion.
Yes.
Then I pass it over
Yes.
to you, and you are the decider for the next one.
Aha.
Okay, cool. But let's try to tell him
Yeah,
a
but
little,
Little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do agree. Let's flip this to 116.
116.
Let's see
Let's see
if
how
he
that goes.
agrees to that. Let's see what he has to say.
Desmod Kazad strokes his chin. He's hesitant to trust you.
He's not entirely convinced, but there is fortunately a way to convince him. The game calls for a charisma roll.
You have a great
Okay,
charisma.
I have so much
You're amazing at
charisma.
charisma.
This time you gain additional dice from noble, human, diplomacy, leadership. If only you had any noble human diplomats here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
We don't.
We
'cause
don't.
I don't have any of that. Do you have any of it? I don't think you do.
Nothing.
And this is slightly more complex set of outcomes because at 2+, you get 2+ successes, which means 2+ dice at 10 or more.
Yeah.
You get a best possible outcome. At 1, you get, a good outcome, and then there's obviously a failure.
I guess I'm rolling since I'm more. Look at me.
Yes.
Look at me. I'm
Yeah.
so charismatic.
Look at me.
You can just see that I'm a people person.
It's
So
yeah.
I'm gonna roll the
Clearly
dice.
better at doing stuff than saying stuff.
got
Oh,
one.
we got it.
Yes.
Okay, so
almost. Is this like 1.5? It's almost.
Yes,
one.
it's almost.
more.
So you do have 1 success,
Yes.
which is a medium outcome.
So
I
go
think
to.
that's the
to
best
118.
we
Yeah, I
would
can't do anything because
Yeah.
I don't have any rerolls. So it's.
After some thought, Desmod Kazad proposes a deal. In return for bringing your charges to the court of Whitewell, you will descend to the newly discovered corridors and bring back detailed reports about anything you find there and any historical objects related to the city's past and to its faded central district. Why is he in mourning?
Okay, so you can either accept the deal and shake hands, or if you have a marker in this space, you can ask him to reveal in return something he has been holding back. Why is he in mourning? What exactly does he want you to find down there? So only because you have this extra information, you can ask this. And then if you have a city-born or deception person, you can haggle for some money as an advance.
I think we should find out stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have the
Yeah, let's do it.
information, so let's
Yes.
find out
I want
things.
to know why he's mourning.
Yeah. We always like finding out things.
Yes.
Okay, 1-1. Excellent. 1-1, and let's see what's his secret.
Desmod Kazad sighs and explains that his son was obsessed with these new corridors discovered in the well. As soon as they appeared on the wall of the well, he wanted permission to organize an exploration group. When Desmod forbade it, he went anyway. Yesterday, he lowered himself with several hirelings and did not return. Desmond secretly hoped you would discover his son's body or traces of his party, but he didn't want anyone to know his only heir had rebelled and likely perished. Let's just say this would be very bad for my business and for the standing of my house, Desmond explains. I cannot let the matter escape these walls until I'm confident that spoiled brat is dead. Especially now, in a couple of days, there's an anniversary of the Accord. All 7 families will meet for the celebrations and negotiations. This thing with my son, it could weaken me greatly. Do you understand?
Okay, so he lost his son down the well, and he just sends you because he hopes you will find some proof of his existence or demise. Yeah, new lead. After heading down well, be on the lookout for signs of Desmond's son. So you have a lead about the plaza in the noon and lead about his son in the well. And now you can either accept the deal and shake hands, or again, try to haggle for some more money.
Well, he seems really desperate to get this done.
Let's haggle for the money.
let's do it.
Nice. I have the city-born keyword, so I
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Haggle go to 119.
1199. Yes, let's flip.
119.
So
Player with city-born or deception rolls for charisma.
yes, so if there would be any other characters without the keywords, they cannot basically do the roll. Only the player with these keywords can roll. And charisma 8 plus 1 die for charm, diplomacy, whitewell. So I think you can support.
I can support
Yep.
with a Whitewell.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I am rolling charisma 2,
Oh, that's a 1.
and I got a 3 and a 7.
Yes, you did roll 1.
Uh-huh.
So you did not contribute at all, but you get
No.
a fate token.
You did nothing.
No. We could try spending it to reroll this, but the
does.
chances for that
Yeah,
is very
you're
slim.
getting 1 gold for a success, so I guess we should not do it.
Then we are happy.
Yes.
Then we'll go to
People are like, could we
120.
get some money, please? He's like, no.
No.
I'm like,
Okay.
That's
fine,
fair.
fine. We're just gonna go
That's
down
fine.
this hole. It's fine. Who needs money when you can go down? Have fun.
So we go to 120.
We go to 120.
Yes, what's more, actually, since you have failed the roll, you failed to achieve even a single success, the person who rolled also receives a fate token.
Yes, that was the plan all along.
And now let's go to 120.
You rise and shake hands with the patrician. He informs you that in the afternoon, when the light disappears, a crew with a crane will be waiting on the expedition staging grounds by the edge of the well east of his estate. They will lower you to the corridors on a special platform. Do not be late, Kazad warns you. You only have until midnight to join the crane crew and descend. Then you have to come back up no later than dawn. The later you set off, the less time you will have in the corridors. You gaze at Luada, stretching across the sky above the land. Soon the deadly light will pierce her shield and fill the well. While the well is inaccessible, you have time to gather equipment and make preparations, or explore whatever threads you wish to investigate.
Right, so the game asks us to place a quest model in the staging grounds. Staging grounds are just east of Kazat's mansion, and the quest model is the scroll. It just shows that the story, main thread of the story, will progress here once you're ready. And now we are asked to take the time of the day token. We have, since the game works in many different scales, and you can have many different things happening on the sheets, you also have many different time tokens. Some work with days, some with parts of the day, some with candles or seconds or things like that. This time it asks us to put a time of the day and set it to morning. So I'll ask you to slot it in so that the arrow points to morning. Now, this will go clockwise, so after that you will have day, noon, and so on. After dusk, you flip it to the other side where you have times of the night. And finally, when it reaches dawn, it will be too late for you, as the big red arrow that points to the time token indicates. But that's not all. Important, once the time token progresses to afternoon, you may descend from the staging ground. So, afternoon is the earliest you can descend, because right now the well is filled with light. Midnight is the latest you can descend, and dawn is the latest you can return.
Yeah.
So, you have some time to play around with, on the city to prepare for your expedition before the crane crew is ready to lower you. Now, if you're human, go to 122, but you are not human.
No.
So, take any action from sheet 5. So, we finished the story part. Now it's time for some exploration. The city of Whitewell has 4 possible actions. Each sheet has its own actions. So, in the city of Whitewell, you can either rest. We won't do it right now because you're fully rested. I'll explain the rest later. You can take flight, but it requires a flight keyword you don't have. You can travel, which allows you to move by 2 spaces if you have a city-born character by 3 spaces. So many actions also use keywords in many different ways. And you can explore, which basically sends you to the number that's listed in your space. Though the travel will cost a unit of time. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know there's going to be like
Execution at noon.
in the plaza.
Yes.
So we maybe like to do that, but we can do something in the day
yes,
first.
so the first travel will take you to the day, and then the next travel will take you to the noon.
So we can do something before we go to the plaza.
Yes. So it would make sense maybe to go to the market if we want to get some supplies. Even
Okay.
though we have like, I think this is money.
This is money.
This
and
is money.
I actually cheated you because dwarf should start with 3
Oh,
as you
yes,
only have
I
1.
should.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we should go to the market.
Yeah, we can go to the market because
Because-
I have the city born, which means that after, thank you, after we go to market, we can move 1, 2, 3 to get to the plaza in time.
Oh, you can move more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that works.
That
if
sounds
we
good.
if we hadn't the keyword, we could only move 2, so it wouldn't work.
I would think like going to the asylum doesn't make so much sense to prepare for.
Not right now. Let's go to the market.
Let's do it. So this is going to move 1.
Yes, it moves to the day, and now you can hit explore, which sends you to the number, and the number is 300. So
Yes.
I'll ask you to flip this. 300.
Sorry.
Okay, we have it here, and it starts off with some checks. If you have Paladin or Luada, which you don't, and if N is empty, this is a story tracker check. Story tracker has 2 icons for checking them. The icon with minus means empty. The icon with a cube means full. You do not meet this requirement, so we continue reading. And now let's get to the story part, 300.
Whitewell's market is full of people from different parts of Evershade. Mostly food, clothing, and tools are sold here. For more specialized fare, buyers visit the nearby artisan district. Simple.
Okay, so you still get a fair amount of choices here because it continues on the other page. You can choose to gather rumors, which does cost time.
Okay.
You can buy spelunking tools and supplies, which will give you a torch item. And let's go to the other side. And as you can see, it's continued here. You can buy a sword, a bow, an armor, a set of light sandals for added mobility. You can, there is one choice that requires B that you cannot take because it requires B in the story tracker. Then you can sell your items or you can leave the market, which will trigger some story scene.
So maybe we should buy a torch. Because we
Torch
can go
is
down
nice.
into a black hole. With
I don't. Yeah,
nothing.
that's good. I don't
we
have
want-
any light keywords, so torch I think is nice, and also
You
the
have-
light sandals. I have more money.
Do you have any weapons? Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
we
I
might
have.
not need a
So
sword.
no, I don't think we need a sword.
Do you need a bow? No.
Or well, maybe he can
We
dual
do
wield.
have
I don't know.
armor.
I do have armor.
I don't have any armor, but I also don't have 2 gold.
Okay. Well, I can. Can we share our gold?
Yes, of course. You can share your gold any way you wish. You can exchange items any way you wish.
Okay.
So
Do you want to pitch in to get me some armor? Because I'm so
I was
I'm poor.
thinking either that or moving. I don't know how much fighting there will be in those corridors. Probably
know.
some, but I don't know. Let's. How much is a torch?
One.
One,
Okay,
just
so
one.
we'll do that.
As for the, that's item. I'm looking for a torch card. As for armor for Bolgrim, it will be useful, but it is a bit of a, I have to warn you, it is of a double-edged sword for you.
Okay.
Because, as you can see, some of your cards, I will explain cards when we get to the combat, have negative points for armor.
Okay.
So for each point of armor, the energy bolt card becomes worse. So
I don't want an armor.
harder
Then
to
I want
cast.
the boots. So
Okay.
you'd buy the torch.
I will buy
I
the
want to the light, the boots.
sandals.
So I can move as fast as you because I have 4 move, you have 6, so we get faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pay one for
I don't know
torch.
if this gets good, but let's try.
Yes,
Yes.
let's see.
It's very important to do the optimal moves.
Can I ask you to pass me the black box you have next
Yes,
to you?
there.
The small box, yeah. This is for cards. Because I seem to be missing the torch card.
That means we just have to go out there in the dark.
Oh no.
No, we wouldn't do this to you. That would be brutal. So. And the other thing you want to buy is, yep, it's here.
The sandals.
The sandals. Okay.
Sandals. Do
So-
we need 1 torch each, you think?
When you're together, you will benefit from the keyword together. But if you do split, only
up.
one will have the torch. So
Because I have 1 more coin.
Yeah.
So I could buy another torch.
I'm afraid there's only one
There's
copy
only
of
one
the torch.
torch.
So
We
there's
will
a,
have
yeah,
one torch.
We will
component
have one
limit.
Yes.
And I bought it.
Well, you
Haha.
can find some other fire or light source if you
Yes.
wish. Okay, so this slots in your small items.
Yeah.
It grants always, as you have it, when you have it equipped, it grants you a fire and light keyword, and apart from that, it grants you 1 card. The card is called Scare. It allows you to push people with the torch, basically.
Okay.
But it's a charisma-based intimidation check.
Okay.
So it's up to you who takes it.
You can take it.
I take it.
I will take
Okay.
the sandals.
And if you equip the torch, you can either equip this card as well, or just hide it in your box to be used later.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think your build is quite good. So the torch, I don't want to explain cards before we
That's
get
fine.
into combat.
Let's just put it in the box.
You could possibly remove Bash, but it's way too good. Combat Insights will allow you to support her slightly. You could replace it with a torch if you want to.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
I will support you.
Thank you.
So each camp, you can go re-equip your items in a different way and
Okay.
build a different set of cards. For example, to get better synergies with your friends or with your own other cards. So the torch. Now let's get to the shoes, the sandals.
I'm paying these 3 coins.
Okay, the
Well, you
sandals
paid 1 of them.
give you a keyword footwear, which might be useful if you run over broken glass, for example.
Yeah.
And they give you, they also give you a card, footwork, which is an additional small move that you can make after each offensive action. So you can just reposition by just 3 spaces after an offensive action. So it's up to you if you want to use the card. If you do want to use the card, I would probably replace either dodge, which is made worse by your armor, or combat insight.
Okay, then I will replace dodge
Yes.
for now.
You will be more aggressive. You will have less ways to mitigate damage during combat, but you will move more.
Let's see if that's good.
So you can hide,
Run and hide.
run, hide. Just run in.
Yeah, after all, if you run, they can't hit you.
Oh, no.
Can they? Right. And did you... oh, you still have 1 gold left. Okay, so if that's everything, we can leave the market.
Let's do it.
Leaving the market, if there's no marker in this space, it takes you to 301. And there's an intellect roll in the market. We don't know why. You first have to roll, and then we'll find out. It's intellect roll with support from vigilance, investigation, and deception. And this one has a very special icon, which means a party. a character number of
Okay.
successes. So many rolls scale with the size of the party. This one requires 2 for you. So you need 2 in the intellect roll to have a positive outcome.
How intelligent are you?
We are both equally intelligent.
If you
Yes.
are equally intelligent, it sometimes makes sense to give the roll to a person who has more fate tokens.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Then I will do that,
And I
and you
also
can support
have
me.
investigation.
Perfect. Okay, let's do
Your
it.
investigative Bolgrim.
Oh, okay, 2 successes.
That's two.
That's what
That's
we
2.
needed.
You
I
did
think
it.
it's enough.
Okay, that's good. 304. Let's see, what have you found out on the market?
As you leave the market, you notice a shifty-looking man bent under the weight of a huge coil of rope. Why would anyone need this much?
Right.
As you leave the market,
So,
I would think to go into a big hole
Oh, yeah.
of death.
Yeah.
yeah, you notice someone was buying up all rope on the market, and you place the marker in the market space to, again, represent that you've learned some information here, and you can either follow the man, but it will progress the time, or leave. So now you have a choice. You can either go to Plaza at noon, or you can use some time to follow the man with the rope.
You
know.
know this, right?
It ruins my plan.
Yes. You always like to have choices, right?
Well,
It seems like this is more important for what we're actually doing.
I agree. I don't know.
You don't like it, but it's...
Well, I don't know what the execution in the plaza will give me.
I'm going to tell you something you
Yeah.
like. You will never know.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, you will if you replay the adventure.
That's true. That's true.
But the chances are I'm gonna follow the man then as well. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's follow the man.
follow the man.
Yes, we will advance the time token and we will go to 305.
Yes, 305. Let's see if you can follow him.
the man keeps heading south through the busy streets of the artisan district. He's suspicious. It's not easy to keep up with him without being noticed.
Okay, so he's not that easy to keep track of. You need to make an agility roll with bonuses from investigation, stealth, and sleight of hand.
Yes.
And again, it scales with a party, so you need to.
I'm gonna do the agility roll.
Oh, you think so? Because I'm
Yes.
very agile, I think I should draw my one die.
And you
I'm
can
gonna
support
help
me.
you. Yes, with my investigation. Oh, you get 2. Get 1. Let's see. You need 2.
Right.
That didn't work.
The roll is not that great, and now you get to choose basically. You can reroll both of your dice, or keep the one for a chance at additional fate. But then you would need 12, which is not
Yeah.
likely
I think I'm
happening.
gonna use one to
And you
try.
have to reroll both. You can't,
You can keep some, so she can keep one,
Okay.
and then
But what
reroll
we
the other one.
Could do is I could use mine. Because if we're going to reroll one, we would rather have the one so you can get another one.
I think I'm gonna reroll both.
But this already works. You only need a 7.
Ah, yes, this already works.
Oh, it does.
This is a success.
That's
So
true.
it's better
okay,
if I use
do
mine
it.
and then we have the one and
Yeah.
you will get one of these.
I thought it was.
Even though I
10
will then have
again.
now one.
No,
yeah,
it's-
there's different numbers.
It's a bit easier.
Let's,
Okay.
I will try to do this if it's going
Yeah,
giving
of
you.
course.
See, I'm probably going to roll another one. A 10.
You did
Oh,
it!
yay.
Okay, so not only you passed, but you also get
So you get mine.
a
There you
token
go.
for
Thank you.
one.
So what happens
The
now?
net amount of tokens didn't change much,
No.
but go to 551 if I can ask you to.
Of course. We're gonna follow the man.
551. Yes, let's be very
He looks
quiet.
so
Yeah.
suspicious.
Be quiet. With all this
I don't know how you're hiding in the
I-
crowd, really.
I don't have any sneaking music to
That's fine.
play, but I do have this.
Following the man, you arrive at the door of an old, abandoned warehouse. As you put your ear to the wall, you hear the muffled voices of several people, too faint and distorted to eavesdrop from the outside. You realize that entering could lead to a confrontation with the rival team, but it's probably better to do it on your terms than wait for them to attack you unexpectedly at the least opportune moment.
All right, you seem to have placed the party model in the warehouse's space, because that's where you tailed the man basically to. And then you can choose. You can either enter the warehouse where he went, or you can leave. You can still leave.
Let's enter the warehouse.
Yeah, it makes sense that we rather just do this now.
Yes, if
than
we. The problem is we
later.
find out that they're just rope merchants, and they're just like, we're just here to buy all the rope in the city and sell it, and we're gonna attack you now. That would be sad. But
We'll
it
deal with that later.
Yes,
Yes.
it's barged in, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm just trying to support my family. Okay, so we're gonna go in.
We are going to
200.
200, yeah.
Let's find it.
So a big jump to 200. And let's see if they were an innocent rope merchants.
I'm guessing
A
not.
very suspicious rock merchant.
You quietly enter the warehouse. It looks old and abandoned, but footprints in the dust confirm someone's been visiting it lately.
Okay, so place a marker in this space. And now there are some rules that might be a very slight spoiler, because the game asks you to 200 place sheet 6 in the right side of the story tracker. So as you enter the warehouse, let's show the warehouse.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, sheet
The
6.
corner numbers allow you to find the number easily without spoiling.
That's
but
nice.
They should be in order. Unfortunately, they aren't. Yes. Okay, that's it. Right, so this is the warehouse you just entered. And let's follow the rest. Place the rogue mage and goons and barrels, enemy cards on the table in one line. You get to see who's in the
Oh, isn't it an innocent rope?
No, it wasn't
Merchant?
a rope merchant.
What?
Might still be.
Might
still be.
He's just gonna fight us.
up. We still haven't begun combat, so who knows what may happen.
We'll just speak to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, can you please...
Good sir.
With
Stop.
my wonderful charisma,
Charisma,
1.
Yes.
And the barrels. And I'm placing them in a single line because that's basically the initiative line
Okay.
in this game. Now, find the enemy activation cards, shuffle them and place them face down below the enemy. So each enemy has a deck of activation cards, and apart from barrels, they're not very active. Yeah.
You're gonna start rolling around.
I'll have to ask you to shuffle those. I'll shuffle those.
These for the rogue.
Yeah, these are for the rogue, mine are for the mage. Goons have just one card. Then
Very easy to shuffle.
there are
Very
barrels. Yep.
predictable.
Build the initiative bag, and there's a formula here for building your initiative bag. Character number dual tokens, 2 white tokens and 3 black tokens. So the initiative bag is basically decides who will go next.
Okay.
I'll explain the initiative as we get to draw from the bag, because we do have some way of cheating the initiative on your characters. So, character number dual tokens, which means 2 duals, 2 whites, and 3 blacks. 1, 2, sorry, 3. No worries. But we're not fighting yet, because after this initial setup, we are asked to make an agility roll of stealth and vigilance. The combat still hasn't begun, we get a chance to position ourselves better, but it requires 2 successes, again, character number, difficulty level 8, agility with stealth and vigilance.
Okay, so I have 2 agility, so I think, and I
Yeah.
also have fate tokens, which
And
is
I
good.
don't have any keywords. Do you have any other keywords?
No.
You do have vigilance, though, don't you? No, you
think I
have
have.
investigation.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. That's nothing.
That's nothing, that's correct.
Let's try using a fate token
You can do it, I believe in you.
to reroll.
Yeah, the difficulty level is
8, right?
not that high. It's 8.
But you are rolling 2 sentries and 4, so that's not
Can I
good
just
enough.
keep re-rolling? I don't know if
You
that's good,
you
but
can if you want to, but on the other hand, you will then enter combat without
yeah,
any
I'm
fates
good.
to play with.
I'm good with this.
Okay, so which means we go to 204, and let's play 204.
As you delve deeper into the warehouse, the voices inside suddenly go quiet. A moment later, the members of their enemy group emerge from the shadows in front of you. They're led by a grizzled old rogue and a mage with a sadistic smile. A group of hirelings that surround them do their best to look tough, but you realize they'll likely scatter if you take out the leaders.
Okay, so the setup continues. We place one rogue and one mage in spaces marked with square. So the squares are here. This is a mage. Here we have a rogue. Then we place character number +2, which is 4 in your case, goons in lowest number spaces marked with circle. Which means 1, 2, 3 is here. So you didn't manage to sneak up on them.
No, that didn't work too well.
They're hid behind their goons. And now go to 205.
So, these are Kazat's guys. Ain't looking so tough to me, a one-eyed ruffian says, pointing a dagger at you. Indeed, the old man must be losing his touch, trusting vagabonds like that, answers his friend, a young mage with a wicked smile.
Okay, so, well, in 205 you can convince them to give up without a fight, which is a very hard charisma roll, but you do. It's not only a hard charisma roll, it's a roll with a different requirement again, because if you go to 205, you see the X, the X means you count successes and you go to 206, and you will not learn what happens until you basically have went there. Or you can just attack them and get on with it.
Yeah. I don't think we'll make the charisma roll.
I have 2 charisma, and
Okay.
also I get an extra for being large.
Yeah, that's three,
Okay.
So I can roll
three
3
dice.
dice.
So you
wanna
need
try?
2 11s on 3 dice, which might happen at 112 is all you need basically. So if you roll any critical success, that will be enough.
That didn't go well. No, nothing.
We'll
Nothing.
go to 207.
207, yes.
But I get a...
As you do your best to convince them, they laugh at you and attack.
They didn't like us. I was trying to say, could you please just go away? Because we don't like you, you don't like us. Let's be friends.
So, as a result of 207, we do add 1 black to the initiative bag.
That's good.
It sounds
Great
like
job.
a good thing.
So we're collecting blacks.
Then we go
But
to
there is still one thing left, 202.
202.
The warehouse explodes with shouts, and the rickety floorboards rattle as both parties engage in fierce combat.
And we do get a chance to make one final roll. Roll for intellect, difficulty level 8. And this one has bonuses from subterranean, alchemy, and engineering, and requires 2 to pass.
I don't think I have any of the keywords.
No.
But you have the fate token, so I have one.
And I think your race has a subterranean, does it?
Oh yeah, it does. Yes, I saw it now.
So if I can roll 2 and you 1 then.
Yeah,
Because it was intellect, right? And I have 2.
yeah. We
Okay.
can do that. Yes.
Wanna do it?
Oh, you
Oh,
did
that
pass.
as
You have
well.
4 successes this time.
Ooh.
That's better.
Yes.
That's better. 2.
So 208.
Yes.
A strange small barrel nearby catches your attention as you're about to cross your weapons with the enemy group. It is adorned with the crest of R. Gavin Mining Company and a long list of runic warnings. It's Dwergen blasting powder, an extremely volatile substance that explodes when shaken. It should stay in a container full of hay and cushioning, but someone carelessly took it out and left it sitting next to the shipping container right on the floor. the same wooden floor that now jumps up and down, rattled by the boots of charging brigands. You only have time enough to raise the closest barrel and put it in the cushioned container, but there are more.
Okay.
A strange
And we are asked to place a block token on one of the barrels. So let's explain barrels very briefly. As we activate enemies, we will eventually reach barrels. And when you activate them, you simply remove one of them with a block token, and it explodes, dealing 3 plus half the character number, which means 4 damage to everyone in range 4. So the ranges in the game work in simple, straight way. So this man is in range 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's too far. But here he would get hit by this barrel. But you do get 1 block token thanks to your roll that you can put at the start somewhere. And you do, we've skipped it here. Yeah, you do get to set up yourselves first. So you set up yourselves on triangles, and then you can decide which barrel do you want to block at the start.
You're melee, right?
Yeah.
You can be here?
Yeah.
She
Perfect.
does have a charge, I think. That's good if she has an enemy in a straight line.
Okay.
So she.
Let's do this then.
Yeah.
For example. And I'm just gonna be over here probably. Maybe there. I'm gonna be there.
Yes, and now it's up to you whether you want to disarm this barrel and basically be certain that it doesn't explode if you didn't get to move before it activates. Or you can decide, for example, that since you will be moving somewhere here anyway, you want to disarm this barrel. So
Maybe
it's up to
one.
you.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. Because we're disarming them.
Because it won't explode.
When,
Kill us.
Okay. Will
Or
they
other
kill-
people.
Well, yeah, but we want them to activate when we're not around.
That's true.
Right?
But if you are gonna go
How
here.
are they activating? When?
We will keep drawing tokens from the back, and
Okay.
after we activate all the enemies, one barrel
Okay,
will
yeah.
explode. The barrel with the lowest number. So right now this one explode, but if you block this, then this one will be first.
So if
Okay.
we're going this way then. So maybe I will start here.
Yeah.
And you can go do the charge. I will attack here. And we'll
Yeah. Remember
this.
what we think we know, that if we just take out the big guys, the small guys will just
Yes,
That is
flee.
true.
it is confirmed on the objective here.
Okay, yeah.
The sheet has an objective which lets you know what to do after the combat, and it also specifies that if you take the rogue and mage down, that's it. That's your victory.
I was thinking like if there's all of these attacking us.
Yeah,
it's
but
gonna be-
unfortunately,
Yeah.
since you didn't manage to sneak up on them, they are fairly well hidden.
Yeah. Let's do
Happy
that.
with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now it sends us from the barrels to 210, which just says resolve combat. So we can put away the book because we won't need it for a moment, and I will explain combat in this game very briefly. So the game has tactical encounters on grids, on small maps. The way they work is that at first, as a first step, we are drawing initiative from the back that we just constructed before. White means you choose any character and activate this character, and they receive 2 actions. So actions, all cards with a black edge are the actions. You can only do them in your turn, and they cost 1 of your 2 actions.
Okay.
You also have 2 basic actions, which is move and first aid, your basic move and your basic very weak heal. And you can also use the actions on the sheet. So you get your actions, actions on the sheet, and basic actions to choose from. On the sheet, you have 2 specific actions. You can topple the boxes. The way it works is I'll have to remove you for a second. If you and the enemy are next to a box each other, you can topple the box on the enemy, giving him some damage. This one was not here. And you can try to ignite the barrel as well. But this has a very specific requirement. It requires a fire keyword in range 1 and ranged. You do have ranged, and you do have fire keyword within range 1. Range 1, if it would set just fire, it would mean you have to have a fire keyword. But fire in range 1 means, for example, that if there's something on the board here that says fire, or if your friend with a torch is next to you, you also meet the requirement. So you could try to ignite one of the barrels remotely with this. You use actions. This actually is a reaction. That's why we marked with a tape. It should have a golden edge. And the cards with a golden edge are reactions. You play them at any point, anytime you wish, in response to anything. So, for example, when your friend's making a roll, you can play this reaction to help them. When something's hitting you, you can play this reaction to help you. So you can use the reactions whenever you wish, but all used cards only refresh when you get activated, basically. So once reaction is spent, you need to be activated to use it again. Black tokens obviously activate enemies, and dual tokens are the opposite of the previous activation.
Okay.
So if enemy went first and you draw dual, it's white. And if dual is drawn as the first token of the battle, it's white.
Okay.
Right. And I was explaining the actions and activations because your character actually has a way to cheat on the activation immediately. You have this reaction called Sense Danger, which allows you to do a fairly difficult intellect check because it requires 2 successes. But if you pass it, you get to draw the amount of successes of tokens from the back and choose which one to resolve.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you can do this only for 1 draw, then it's spent.
Yeah.
But it will refresh when you get to activate your character. So it may even refresh immediately if you choose to activate us first. So, that being said, we have to draw. So which one of you is more lucky?
Oh, you can draw.
This is a duel, which means white.
Woohoo!
Actually, I didn't ask you if you wanted to use this, but you already drew dual, so
Yes.
that's okay. So it's a question, who do you want to send first?
I have the charge thing. Maybe I will do that.
Yes.
Do it.
And just for one more important explanation, because that might not have, I might have missed this, you will only get 1 activation during your turn. So, which means you get white, then you will at some point get white. In the meantime, some enemies will get black.
Yeah.
After all of you were activated once, we activate once all remaining enemies and the turn ends.
Okay.
So you get 1 activation per turn. Enemies usually get 1 activation per turn, but in some bugs and some character numbers, they may be able to act more than once per turn. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you will start, or because then
Yeah.
doesn't really.
I don't think
You can start.
Yeah, I can start.
It's hard to know when we haven't played the game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So
and again, black borders are your actions. You can play them right now when you're active. You have 2 actions. Here you have also actions, topple the boxes. Ignite the barrel is not available to you because you don't have ranged.
And is the this shield, is that damage?
Yes, the broken shield means damage.
Yeah.
So most of your attack actions will deal more damage depending on the number of successes, but you need to have at least 1 success to pass. And the icon with the hooded man means the difficulty for this test is determined by the enemy card.
Okay.
And just for you to know what are you dealing with, we'll have to set up their health. This is a wrong icon. They should have 3 times the character number, which means they have 6. This one has 6 plus 5, which means 11 for your party. Sorry for small dials. Those are the Nemesis dials, the only ones we have for this prototype. And this one is 3 times 2, 6 plus 3, which is 9. And please also note that some of them have armor, which reduces any incoming damage. This one has, goons have, the mage doesn't.
okay.
I think it's only have 1 life, so.
Yeah.
And you said you also have these basic actions.
Yes, you can move. and
Move
rest.
and first aid, yeah.
But why would I want to charge instead of move?
Because charge, if you give me the charge
Yes.
token, the card, something, this says there's a passive at the back. So if you charge, move up to your move in straight line,
Yeah.
it's flipped. And now you have an impact, which means any attacks using melee when you make an attack using melee, you also roll an additional divinum die. I'll talk about divinum die in a moment. And you deal additional damage equal to half the result of this die.
Okay.
So if you move and then attack, the attack will be weaker than if you charge and then attack.
Okay,
Ah,
that's
okay.
cool.
So
And after you attack, you can also use your footwork reaction, because reactions don't cost you anything, to reposition.
okay, so I think I will.
And I don't want to flood you with possibilities,
That's
fine.
but
Yes.
there's also one more thing I have to
Yeah.
mention, because you have 2 fate tokens. One of the ways to spend fate tokens is to buy yourself 1 action. So if you spend 2 fate tokens, you can buy yourself 1 action. So you could theoretically do 3 actions on your activation if you spend all of your fate.
So she could charge, attack, and if he...
She can basically charge, attack, then she can use a footwork reaction to, for example, move here, and then buy another attack, for
very
example. But she will be absolutely totally surrounded by enemies without any cover and on all 4 sides. So
Good idea.
Yes. Well, I think I'm gonna do the charge
Yes,
action.
you-
So I will move in a straight line. Could you position me? Yeah. And then I will do one.
you have 2 attacks, attack and heavy strike. Heavy strike is way better,
Yes.
and it also sets up enemies for bonus damage from your allies. So if it's a weak goon, I would definitely use only attack.
Yeah, and these 2 both refresh when it's my turn next,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But if I would to attack more on this turn, I would have to see which one I would use right now.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
But now it really doesn't matter.
No,
does
because
it?
you could buy a move as you said and
Yes.
go in and attack another time.
I don't know if that's smart
Yeah, but
though.
you could start with this and just
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
do
let's
that.
do it.
So what are you doing? Rolling? Unit.
I'm rolling for strength. I'm rolling 4 dice.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes, and the attack says roll for strength, the difficulty of the enemy. Goon has 6, which is fairly easy to hit. Oh,
I think
and
that went okay.
I think you've murdered
he's
him.
very, very
Yeah.
dead. He's
that's-
so dead.
Not only you rolled 4 successes, which means 4 damage, your weapon has a damage modifier,
Oh yeah.
which is plus,
2.
Oh, yeah, plus 2.
it means
Okay.
you've dealt 6 to Goon.
It would be better if you attacked the mage.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yes.
And you
I also
and you
rolled
have
the little
and
die, but
yes, the
I
little
don't
die,
really
the divinum die is in this setting. The divinum, there was when the breaking of the sun happened, there was a golden halo around the sun where all the gods lived, the higher realm. And the higher realm obviously also got obliterated by the broken sun, and pieces of the higher realm fell to all the planets of the system, including the world of Evershade. And from these pieces, a power that once belonged to the gods is seeking for new people to bond with, and it bonds with living creatures. And during character creation, you get a certain divinum die. You get a D4, he gets a D6, he has more divinum. And as the game progresses, the divinum die improves. So, for example, even your starting spells can become wildly powerful if you have a D20 divinum die. But you start with D4, unfortunately.
Roll
but
it.
he's
Yeah,
Attack
let's
more.
roll it.
dead.
Let's see
Okay.
how it works. 3.
Aha, he's even more dead.
Since we round up halves always up,
Okay.
you do half the divinum die, which means 2.
2.
Which means you did 8 damage to a goon. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
That's.
What do you think?
Let's flip the attack. And now it's up to you whether you also want to use the footwork reaction. This will be free, basically, because it's a reaction.
Should I do like
Yes.
I can move to the dude?
Yeah.
What?
The rogue.
That's rogue.
Yes.
I don't know if I can do on like good attack. Let's do it. Let's try it. I will die.
It's
but that's
fun.
fine.
You move here.
Yeah.
Do you
So you flip the footwork,
Yeah.
and now your turn would end, but you can still buy the extra action with 2 fate.
Well, let's try it. Or else I wouldn't be
This is a
standing
risky
there.
move.
Yes.
But yeah, let's see what
This
happens.
is so yeah.
Did you use both of them? Didn't you have one more?
Well, I had 2, but it costs 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it
Spend
costs.
2 to get
Okay.
an action.
Okay.
the action is expensive, but
That's
you know,
awesome.
it's also
Then
a
you
big
can't reroll
bonus.
anything.
Yeah.
Yay!
Just roll the 12s again.
Yes.
Right, so now you roll for heavy strike, and the heavy strike will not only on the back, it has an effect that grants other allies bonus effects damage against your target. You also still benefit from impact.
Okay,
so-
that's good. Okay, so I have 4 dice still.
And the small one.
Yeah, but let's do.
Yeah, you can roll the divinum die together with all the
Okay.
dice, because if you choose to reroll any dice, well, you can't because you don't have fate. You can also reroll the divinum dice naturally.
So that's.
He is fairly
successes,
tougher. He
yeah.
requires 8, so you have two successes. The
I
divinum die is fairly high. So if you could pass me the heavy strike card,
Yeah.
because I don't remember it fully. So you deal the successes of damage, which means in your case with a weapon that's
2 plus
4,
2, yeah, 4.
and with the impact that's
6.
6. Yes,
That's good.
and you flip and resolve the damage, the effect on the back. Advantage: place your effect token. It's a token in your color. You have a green ring, if I'm seeing correctly.
Yes.
On the attacked enemy.
Okay.
Okay.
+1 die for all melee attacks against the enemy with your effect. So you won't, unfortunately, you won't be able to
No.
capitalize it on with energy bolt.
But it was still good. He took 6
Yes,
damage, right?
and he took 6 damage.
But he has a shield,
minus-
so that's
minus
5.
1, so that's 5. So he's down from 11 to 6.
And
You brought him almost
I'm in trouble.
halfway down.
Yes. That's me.
No, it's going to be fine. You're not in trouble.
No, not at all.
So we're going to draw again.
Yes, and let's draw
I think I'm
again.
going to use this then.
Yes, so let's roll for intellect, difficulty 8.
2.
And your friend there can support you with combat insight. Unless there will be some other action you think that it would be better, where her support would be better spent.
Can you support in attacking?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could have supported me just now.
Yes,
Okay.
he could have.
No matter where you are on the board.
The range is here.
So
Combat
just-
insight
okay, so
allows
just
you
ally.
to ally in any range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could have helped you.
Yeah,
attack,
he could
but
have
I
helped
was
you
just
one more die.
relaxing down here.
On the other hand, you will be able to help her when those goons start
That's true.
beating on
That
her.
is-
Yeah.
That might be more important, actually. Okay, do you want help?
No,
Okay,
it's fine.
go. I don't think it's fine.
No, it's not. But I'm not. But the only thing I get to do is do not look at them.
Okay,
Yeah,
So
So-
it's going to be fine.
And because you fail to achieve even a single success, you get this.
Oh, it's good.
It's better than
better.
doing nothing.
So I'm going to draw another one. Let's see. It's black.
It's black. We get to activate Rogue. Was he at 6 or at 5? At 6. Sorry.
Let's just say 1.
Let's make it 1. So 6. We draw from his activation deck. And now, he will do 2 things on his turn. He will take cover and shoot. Take cover. Target the closest character, which is simple because that's you. This is
That's
the
me.
closest character icon. Yeah. Move to the closest space with a cover against the target. So the way the cover works in the game is very simple. Golden line, if you're right next to them, provide you with cover against everything starting from this line on the other part of the board.
Okay.
So this guy is in cover against everyone here, but if you move here, he's not in cover against you. This guy, for example, would be in cover against everyone here, but
Makes
he
sense.
wouldn't be in cover against this one. So, what the rogue does is he finds the closest space with a cover from you, which
That's
would be
there.
here.
Yeah.
And does he have unlimited movement?
Yes, it's if it says just move
move.
to
Yeah,
the
okay.
closest, he will move to the closest.
So he
yeah.
doesn't have like a base movement.
Yeah.
It's all based on the colors.
Shoot. Now he will target. And now let's talk about targeting icons, because they will not always shoot or target the closest character or the furthest. Sometimes they are more specific. Your cards have those small icons here that change as you use the cards, by the way. And he will target the player with the most moons. So we need to count
have 2.
your moons.
2.
If you both have 2, you can choose which one does he target.
I would choose me.
Yeah, I think it's
Yes.
you because
I have less life, but you have a lot of other
Yeah.
people maybe attacking you.
Okay, so he targets moons, which is you. He deals 2 plus half the character number, which is 1 damage, with difficulty of 8. And why the damage has the difficulty? Because in this game, if enemy hits you and you do nothing, you get hit. So the only way to bring the damage from the hit down is via defensive reaction. She has 2, dodge and exceptional endurance. You have your endurance, but you have also a charm that can just reduce the damage flat by 1 without rolling anything. And obviously, if you and many enemies hit you, you can keep refreshing the card for fate.
Okay.
But at some point, if too many enemies get to hit you before you are activated, you will obviously run out of the all reactions, and then the hits will start to pile up.
So I guess I'll use this.
Yes, you will roll for strength.
And the difficulty is
8,
8.
which is
It's a 6 or 2.
2. Prevent 1 plus the number of successes, which is 2. 3 damage. That's okay, and he deals 3 damage. So it was fully enough
Yay!
to negate
Perfect.
the blow. And this goes here to the bottom. So he will do 2 more things you don't know, and then
Okay,
it
and
will
then
loop.
it just loops. Okay.
We'll draw a new one.
Yeah, we have to draw a new one. And this goes here.
So,
It's a duel, so because the previous one was black, this one is
You're good.
white. You're good to go.
it's my turn to do
At the start of your turn, you refresh everything.
And is this my move? How far I can move?
6, yeah,
Yep.
correct. This is how you move in a single move action.
So what do you think I should do?
I think you maybe should, because I think I'm going to try to target a rogue. So if you would like move towards...
And when he's in cover from me, I can't.
Cover is not the same as line of sight.
Okay.
Cover is only for attacking with disadvantage. So,
Okay.
which means that you will attack him with disadvantage. You will roll 1 die less because he's in cover.
Okay.
You still might try to hit him with energy bolt because he's low on HP. Who knows? And she still has her support card
That's
ready,
fair.
so she can support you with 1 die.
Yeah, but I can't use disadvantage because it's
No,
not
it's
an
unfortunately melee
So
only.
maybe I
try
should just try.
shoot the mage. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because he's already done his turn this round, so
Yeah.
maybe I should try to do that.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I will try to do that. And does this block line of sight?
No, you have line of sight to everything on the
Okay.
board. Basically, if there are the only way you do not have a line of sight is if the combat has some zones, for example, different
Okay.
rooms. You're in a
nice.
single zone, so there's only cover to account
And
for.
when I do this attack, does it? So it says it has to be at least range 2.
Yes.
But does it matter how far?
No, the black arrows mean that it goes basically to the edge of the arena.
Okay.
So the only thing you cannot target are spaces directly adjacent to
Yeah.
you with this specific spell.
So what I could do? No, I can't. So
Well, you can also
You
go...
do have 2, so
Yes.
you have an extra action if
could
you
do an
wish.
extra action. So I could.
You can also move and do a melee action. You have the bash up there, because that's
Yeah,
melee.
but I don't want to attack him. I want to
No,
attack.
just saying you have options.
I'm gonna shoot.
And since
The
you
mage.
can refresh cards with a fate token, you can, for example, you can have 3 action this turn. So, for example, run, bash, and bolt the mage by buying another action.
Yeah.
Or you could bolt, spend 1 to refresh, and bolt
Do it
again.
again.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna do the energy bolt on the mage, which means I will roll for.
Yes, you will roll for
Intelligence.
intellect, yes, and divinum at the same time.
Okay, so I get
There
this.
is a -1 die for armor,
But don't
and
I
then
buy it?
most spells have several possible outcomes. On the best outcome, you will resolve the effect of the spell, which is on the back. We'll get to this in a second. On medium outcome, you gain 1 terror, which goes here. I will explain terror when you get one, and still resolve the effect of the spell. And on failure, you gain terror and achieve nothing. So, and the back of the spell is a simple damage calculation when you take your successes and the divinum and check which tier of the spell triggered. This tier gives you, the best tier gives you the number of successes plus half the divinum die damage.
Do you want help?
Let's help me.
Yes.
I'm then gonna roll
get one more
2 and a d6.
Die from me.
Yes, and you can flip this to give him 1 die.
And I roll the other die then. Okay.
I mean, you still roll the support die yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Well, this wasn't very effective,
This
unfortunately.
does look bleak.
But this was maybe.
This is excellent, but as it stands now, since you failed to achieve a single success, you would just gain terror and do not
I will
without
use,
resolving
I will
the
use
spell.
This I can.
Yeah, you can keep
that.
this. No.
I'm not very good at this.
No.
I'm doing the last one as well.
Yes.
So let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Woohoo! Something happened. Nice.
12 and a 1. Not only you get to resolve the best outcome of the spell, you also get a fate token for
Oh, I got
one.
it back.
That's nice.
That's awesome. So
Let's flip
flip
it. So, the sum of successes 2 is 8, which means the best result of the spell. Deal number of successes plus half the divinum die. So that's 2 plus 3, which means 5 damage. She has no armor, which brings her from 9 to 4.
I think I'm gonna attack her again. Hopefully it works without rerolling.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use this to reflip
Refresh.
it and do it.
Do it again. Yeah.
Okay. I can't support you anymore.
No, you didn't support me anyways.
I tried my best.
Aha!
Did you do anything?
You did.
It's a double.
Okay.
This
It's a
was not
double
good, but
success.
It, was,
It is not good, but okay. So this won't deal much damage, but it will deal something. 3 means you resolve this result,
Okay.
and it deals 1 plus half the divinum die. We round halves up, so it means you deal 2.
2. Oh.
She's at 2, so
Almost.
close.
Almost.
You can just throw a mag at her, and she
Yes.
falls over.
And that was my turn, right?
That
So-
was your turn. And now we do
Yeah,
not draw
because
anymore
there's not
because we
anymore.
only have enemies left.
Yes.
So the mage will activate. And what does she do? She hides. Again, they are very sneaky. Target the closest character, which is the dwarf. Move to the closest space with a cover against the target. This is here. That's enough to gain a cover from you. And then she magic missiles someone who has the most suns.
I have 6 sons.
4.
So she magic missiles me.
Yes, and she deals 3 plus 1 damage with a difficulty of 8. You have 1 defensive reaction left.
Let's
You have to
do
make it count. Yeah.
So roll for strength. And let's see.
I believe in you.
Okay, so I have
Shouldn't have believed.
a success. The rest is nothing.
Yes, so you prevent
2.
1 plus 1, 2 damage, but you do still have an armor, you see?
Oh yeah, I do. So I
Which
prevent
means
3.
3, which means you take 1.
Okay, I take 1.
You take 1.
That is.
half,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
here. Cool.
And you have to flip the card, unfortunately. As you
yes.
can see, you're flat out when it comes to cards.
Yep, I
that
am.
means the next turn, when you get to activate, you will have to think carefully who gets to activate first.
Yes.
And that's not everything, because we've activated the mage, and
No, we
we
have to
still
activate
have
3
the goons left.
and the
yeah.
barrel.
The goons advance, move by 3 toward the suns. I'm afraid they will hyper focus
That's
on
me.
you.
Yes.
Suns are generally more aggressive maneuvers,
Okay.
and moons are more supporting, healing. So some will focus on the most obvious threat, while others are sneaky and will support on healers and
Yeah.
focus on healers and things like that. So he goes by 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
These do not go because they are right
I
next
am
to
surrounded.
you. You are surrounded, so let the hits pour. And
They have
each
clumsy
of them
slash.
does a clumsy slash,
I kind of tried to do it, and
which deals 1 plus half the character number, which means 2 damage. Unfortunately, you have no defensive reactions.
so
you have
they
nothing
just
to
hit
work
me.
with. But you do reduce each hit by 1 due to your armor,
Okay.
so you
which
take
means
3
you
damage.
take
I
3.
should take
Yeah.
3 damage. 1, 2, 3. So I'm at 6 health.
Yeah. Don't worry, he can run over to you and heal. But
That's good.
this is a close range heal, so you would have to be right next to her.
We'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
And
we'll
now,
see.
and now let's activate the last card, the barrels. Place a block token on the lowest number available barrel. So we'll, which one explodes? Number 2 explodes, yes. And now, deal 3 plus half the character number 4 damage to everyone in range 4 from this barrel. Cover prevents 2.
Okay, but she takes some damage,
Takes
right?
2 damage.
I think she'll be dead.
Yeah,
She will
I
be
think that's enough.
That's enough.
Woohoo!
Haha!
So she gets blown up by the barrel,
Pew!
and that was the only enemy with
Yes.
the within range.
You should have been one step more down. They would die.
Right. And after the end of the turn, we simply return all the tokens to the bag. And that's it. Now, this is where we usually end the demo, because
Sounds good.
as you can see, the combat is nearly finished. You would probably be able to finish them off. And after the combat, you learn that this is indeed a group that planned to ambush you while you were descending down the well. In fact,
were not
if you
rogue
pass me the sheets, they were not the rope
No,
merchants.
I had my doubts after this encounter.
If you pass me the sheet, there is a sheet, alternative sheet, called the Descent, where they would board your platform as you descend into the well. And it would be far more deadly because you see there are those red lines are all deadly spaces. So you would push each other off platforms, which will be an insta-kill. So, yes. And obviously there are some things you could have also discovered in the city, but many of them will be able you will be able to discover once you go up.
Okay.
So after going down, right now, since you defeated them here, you would not have combat on going down, and going down would finish the act. So that's the end of the act.
Cool.
So as I said, the acts are usually 1 to an hour and a half long bits. The other act of chapter 2 would take place in the spoilers, but let's show you the beautiful sheets. Would take place underground,
Okay.
Cool.
and there would be some puzzles to solve.
We like puzzles.
We like puzzles.
And then you would probably get to meet this guy over here, who
Looks nice.
resides in the old archive. And after you head up, that would be the end of chapter 2.
Okay.
But the story has 3 chapters in total. This starting adventure, because the game will come with several adventures. So you can always choose which would you like to play best, or do you want to head into the major city to have some dungeon exploration, or do you want to take an adventure that is mostly focused somewhere in the wilds, or more political adventure? So that's how the adventures in the game work. And with that, I think I have nothing left but to thank you for your playthrough. It was a
you so
pleasure
much.
to play with you
It was
today.
really fun.
And yes, and let's talk briefly about the game.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that's interesting to you here?
Everything?
Yeah.
Is that the right answer?
Yes, this speaks to me. I really like this
Yes, it's a
system,
really cool system.
and also that you can decide what actions are available to you. And I think that the different maps sounds interesting to me, that you can have like a map, as you said, that's a big area, or a time span that's over a long
or just
time.
a gate that you really
Yes.
try to unlock. Yeah.
So the adventures are kind of like mini campaigns?
Yes,
Is that
basically, yeah. So since each chapter, full chapter with 2 acts takes around 3 to 4 hours, it means that one adventure is usually from 12 to 20 hours.
That is
So,
a great.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I said mini campaign. I don't really, because 20 hours is enough.
Yes, and after one adventure, your character should have around 4 levels of experience.
Okay.
Because the way those work is you would get some XP after this combat anyway. So once you're up on the XP track, you get the next level up, you place it somewhere, and the story, the player's handbook, we have only a very rough copy of the player's handbook now because it's still being laid out, has the advancement trees that show you which number gives you what. For example, for you, B is a battle magic tree, and this level in battle magic tree gave you energy bolt. Basically.
That's great.
I like the system with the fate tokens, so that if you fail a test, you will be more likely to succeed the next time. I thought that was
There is a
nice.
component limit on them, so you get 10 fate tokens in total, so you cannot fail all the time.
Can't have like 40 fate tokens and be like, I'm going to do 600 actions this turn.
But
Yeah, I
that
think-
feels nice. That if you are unlucky, you will get like a little something
A little boost,
to help you.
And it's also pretty cool, like you have, as it seems like you're going to have a lot of choices both with the creation and how you want to model your character, which is pretty cool. And it's still like when you're playing these, so I guess when you're playing a adventure and you're done with it, you're going to start a new character when you start a new...
Actually, yes, you keep your character because the adventures have various difficulties, and I said after Into the White Well, you should have around 4 things in your advancement trees. You should be around level 4. And we obviously want to evolve your character up to the max level, especially since it unlocks new slots, unlocks new cards. So you would keep those characters and head to a more difficult adventure, basically. And once you're done with your full campaign that can involve anything from 2 to 3 adventures, you still have some choices. You can retire your character and go again to try new paths, new choices. Because, for example, here in Chapter 3, you will have to ally with certain patricians. And Chapter 3 goes very differently depending on who you allied with. So after your max level, you can either replay some adventures again, or you can, we will be also introducing scenarios that are one-off adventures, much smaller than the regular adventures, but they are very tightly tuned to characters of max level. So they are very challenging, they
fun.
do some cool stuff, but they are very hard and they are only for max level characters.
That's awesome. It was fun. I cannot wait to play it more.
Yes, I want to see what's happening with the execution.
Yes, and the rope merchant.
In the plaza,
Yeah. This is, and it seems like so far, like the thing we saw now is like a nice mix of the reading and choosing. And
Yes,
then doing
we are
like
aiming for a mix of basically story, tactical combat, and a bit of tactical decision to appeal to players who like RPGs, basically.
Yeah.
So this is the most RPG-like out of all storytelling games
Absolutely.
we've made so far.
Yeah, can't wait to play it again. And
This
more.
was fun, yes.
We usually like these games, so we were very happy to be able to play it.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing us,
Yep,
and thank you for letting
it was
us play.
Really great to have you here. And we will reveal more of the game, obviously, when the crowdfunding campaign starts, which would be around mid-November.
November,
We
okay, so it's...
do try, so even if you're not fully interested in the game, if someone is not fully interested in the game, we will have some cool things that are shared with the campaign. For example, we will try to share the entire player's handbook, which gives a very good entrance into the setting as a PDF before the campaign. So people will be able to check it out.
People can be...
And if someone follows the campaign early, there will be our usual follower gift. So again, someone can just follow the campaign and see what's the gift.
That is pretty awesome.
Nice.
So I think this is the end.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
it.
We're done here.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching this video from Spiel. And we are Board Gaming Ramblings. Bye.